Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Cupid Parasite, just continuing Raul's route, and it's already gotten steamy. So, I have high hopes for this now. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to assume we are here while he is filming something and we're on set, because that's what it seems like, but anyway. Go! He hit me while on horseback? How can some ordinary archaeologist do something like that? I'm assuming maybe we're Raul? Anyway. Oh, is this his movie? Okay. I'm no ordinary archaeologist. They call me... Grah! I, Illinois Rogers, will protect the pyramids from all you damn grave robbers. Go repent your crimes before Pluto. I can't get into his voice right now. I'm assuming we're Raul, but I can't do his voice at the moment. I don't understand why. Because it's just a typical bro dude voice, right? We were watching the movie. Okay. This movie is kind of cliche, but Raul does look good in it. I mean, I bet he looks good naked too. You've already seen that, so have we kind of. Anyway, wow. Illinois Rogers, what kind of a weirdo does plays on Indiana Jones, like Colorado Smith in the Sims series that I do? What? Never mind. Yes, on and off. We have our. If you don't watch my Sim stuff, I mean, obviously, because if you're here for Tell Me Something, you might not care. Oh my god, something. I do have a Sim named Colorado Smith who was my Indiana Jones. So that was me making fun of myself there. Anyway, moving on. Illinois Rogers. Colorado Smith is way fucking better, but I'd have sued. I'd have been like, sued! I came up, well, I'm sure somebody else has figured that one out, man. Come on. Anyway, after coming back from Raul's place, I decided to watch all the movies he's ever been in. His agent was kind enough to lend them to me. From Raul's debut movie to the one that turned him into an overnight superstar, the one I'm watching now features the heroic archaeologist, Illinois Rogers. I like Illinois Rogers. Movie critics say it's a B movie, but Raul's action scenes garnered lots of attention. How dare anyone? I mean, okay, I don't know about Raul, but I'm just are you trying to say that Indiana Jones movies were B movies? No. Hello. I mean, maybe now, because you're the 80s was a weird time, but Indiana Jones, Romancing the Stone movies? Those were awesome. There was a lot of, those are very similar. Yeah, I mean, I guess we still do that now. There's a Transformer movie? Now we're going to make another one over here, and you're like, what? Well, you had Transformers in the 80s, and then you had, were they GoBots? Was that what were they called? They were the generic ones. Anyway. But every single movie is an action film. In one, he's a jungle treasure hunter. In another, a ruins exploring archaeologist. And of course, there's the Lone Soldier war movie. Oh, that one would put me to sleep. I hate war movies. I just hate them. It's like a war movie. Oh! We have to. I don't know why. I just don't I hate them. They're so boring. Even though there's lots of action, I don't know. It's yeah, I don't want to be here. Again, we all have the things that we love, that we like and we love in movies, and some people do not like cheesy disaster movies because they're it's so stupid, and I'm like, it's the best thing ever. So different strokes. Raul plays each role perfectly, but every single movie has zero romance in it. There's some bedroom scenes tossed in, but it's just for the eye candy. There's no real love involved. And he's really good at the steamy scenes with no love involved, because, he's got a lot of experience with that, so. With that in mind, I think it's unreasonable to expect him to act out feelings of love. But he did say that he wants to overcome this problem, so we have to deal with this seriously. I have to do my best as his acting coach again tomorrow. I stopped watching Raul's movies and prepared for the following day's activities. I just want to, when Raul's acting, be like, this is my acting voice. talk like that. And the next day, I was walking alongside Raul on the Sillywood set. We'd be spending the day together in our normal rehearsal space. So that's why I thought it'd be best for you to teach me. You seem to know a lot more about love than me. See, now I got his voice. I just need him in front of me and I can do it. I do love my job, so I want to make it a success and be able to play more roles. I could become anything in a movie, whether it's Hermes, Achilles, or even Alexander the Great. Is it Hermes? That's how you say the designer, but that's not, I don't know. That's why I'm serious about acting out love. I'll do my best. Raul smiled softly as I walked next to him. He's just so sweet. Such a good little himbo. God, ugh. Jesus. What is, why? What is it? Why do you do this to me? I don't even understand it. Because again, it's not like when I looked at all the characters, I was like, oh my god, I love you. And then he turns into the himbo. And I'm like, okay. Because the way Spacey picks her boyfriendo in these games is like, I love you on the cover. You're my favorite. And I like you and you. But like, you're my favorite. I always pick my favorite. It's who my eyes are drawn to first. And like, it's not that Raul's not good looking. Like, when you see him on the cover, but you're like, it was like, honestly, it was Owen. That's funny, actually. Yeah. But, you know, so, which is not usually what happened. It wasn't like the box art this time. It was like like a promo photo with like, probably that one CG where like everyone's sitting there and then Owen's in the background and you're like, don't tease me like this. It was something like that. And I don't remember out of the main ones who kind of drew my eye. Alan might have because he's like purple and beautiful. But like, I think Raul gave off the vibe of like, you're the bro dude. Like, I already knew what character he was going to be. And like, not that he's not pretty, but I wasn't like, oh my god, you're pretty and you're like the bro dude and I'm into it. Like, no, you know, it was like, you're pretty, but like, other characters, you're like, they're pretty, but it's not, you're just not into that character because like, whatever. Like, so I don't know when we started, and it was like, I love him so much, he's my favorite. Oh, like, I don't know when this happened and why. I don't understand it. I don't. But, like, here we are. Anyway. Maybe that lecture I gave him worked, because he seemed ready to do exactly what I said. I guess something good came from sleeping with him after all. I mean, you had a good time, right? So that's something good. And I said all that after we'd already slept together, so maybe he really did take it to heart. Yeah, if you don't have the experience, people won't find you convincing. He's had a change of heart and he's trying to understand love. As Cupid, there's nothing that makes me happier. I cleared my throat and made an effort to stand up tall like a proper teacher. Very well, then I expect you to do exactly what I tell you. Yes, ma'am. So, Raul, in order to find true love, you're forbidden from having casual flings. Of course, ma'am. Oh, and no bringing up mythology with girls you just met. You can talk about your hobbies once you've grown closer. I understand, ma'am. So, should I not talk about mythology with you either? Look at the sad in his eyes. He's like, what? No, that's acceptable. I nodded in an exaggerated motion. We then looked at each other and burst out laughing. I mean, the thing is like, no, how about that? Instead of talking with girls you just met about mythology, when you hold that in and all that, you come talk to me about mythology, and I'll take the hit for the girls. I'll take it. I'll take one for the team. I mean, she took one for the team, but in a totally different way. Anyway, Raul Aconite, the famous actor, he may be an action star, but deep down, he really is sincere. He's a little sweetheart. He's a little cinnamon roll. He's a little slutty cinnamon roll. He's a little dirty. He kind of fell on the floor and got little crumbs on him. It was fine. 5-second roll. It's a little dirty, but it was fine. It's questionable, you know? He's a cinnamon roll that kind of fell on the floor and it's dirty and you're like, do I eat this? It's been on the floor and you debate, but then you're just gonna eat it anyway and like be damned with the food poisoning or, you know, whatever. There's some like lint in here, but at this rate, he might actually be able to understand what love is before long. Yep. I mean, I predict that is exactly what will happen. As Cupid, I must guide him correctly. But I also have to do it as a human. I can't use my divine powers the way Dad would. Humans don't need the gods. They can understand love and come together in marriage all on their own. I mean, okay, like, here's the thing. Can we come to, like, the agreement where, like, for the most part, humans can do this on their own, but there are special circumstances like the Parasite 5 that absolutely fucking need divine guidance because Jesus Christ. I mean, you know, I'm just saying. So, I still have some time before group rehearsal, so could I practice with you first? I want to improve it a bit before I show the director. Sure, I'll be the judge to see if you can make a face of true love. Yay! Then let's find somewhere to practice. Shoves you up against a wall. Raul grinned and ran off happily. He always makes such innocent smiles. His expressions are always so honest and pure. I'm sure that part of him is what charms people. Yeah, and then he has just random sex. See, that's the thing. He's not like a player. Like, oh, he's so honest and pure, and then he's like a whore. It's like, he's just like, well, again, it's the, well, they asked, so, and you're like, oh. I mean, I'm glad you're at least having fun, and you're not like, well, I don't enjoy it, but they asked, so. No, he's like, I mean, I have a great time, but if nobody asked, I'd probably be okay, but if they ask, so I do it. Like, there's good and bad things about this. As I followed him, I could only hope that he would find someone to love him, obsessed parasite and all. Yeah. I love how this goes, though, when you're like, I'm sure someday he'll find love, and you're like, uh-huh. I hope someone can love him. I mean, it's just kind of funny, because you know where it's going, but still, it's amusing. And from there, I went with him to rehearsal day after day. I read the script together with him, taking breaks to sit down, drink coffee, and chat. We'd end up talking about nothing but mythology for hours on end, every day. I learned that his favorite coffee was a blend from Diana Cafe, the kind with plenty of caffeine to keep him awake. We'd return to the rehearsal space with coffee and bagel sandwiches and practice his portrayal of love. He still didn't know what love was. I'd ask him if he found someone he likes, but he would just look confused. But he was willing to listen to any advice I had. He never stopped with the mythology stuff, but he did stop hugging casually and started turning down girls that came onto him. With that, his portrayal of love was improving, little by little. At least it's improving. If they're like, yes, he's getting better. But the thing is like, they don't have, like, 4 years. I mean, okay, this is only taking probably, like, a couple of months, maybe. But, like, it's improving a little, like, day by day. But it's like, and they're like, it's only been 6 years. We're finally ready. Like, I don't have that kind of time, but. Hey, that line was pretty good. Keep that approach going, Raul. Sure thing. That day he was praised during rehearsal for non-action scenes for once. I felt a big sense of relief seeing that. He still couldn't express the feeling of a once-in-a-lifetime kind of love. But Raul's acting was 1,000 times better than when he started. It seemed that he felt a lot more comfortable lately. Did you hear? I did just what you told me and the director loved it. Raul smiled happily as he ran up to me and gave me a huge hug. His grip was so tight it made me cough. He was like a grizzly bear that didn't know his own strength. Raul, remember what I said? No hugging. Oh, right. This isn't casual. This is a happy celebratory hug. Save that kind of thing for special moments and it'll definitely help with your acting. But you have to be patient. Okay. He's so charmingly adorable. God damn it. He gave a quick nod, then let go. Before, he would have said that hugging was totally normal. Now he just did exactly what I said. I consider that great progress. Also, we're like, it's really good because we're training him. We're training a puppy. He's basically a dog. And you're like, sit, Reb, sit. Okay, good for you. Pat him on head. I'm just saying. The himbos usually are kind of like dogs. You're like, they're just, you have to train them and they're just like there's a correlation here. Like, but I love it. Look at his precious face. I love him so much. What is wrong with me? What happened? I smiled at the thought of having such a great student. Anyway, good for you. It's great that the director was so happy with you. Yep, and it's all thanks to you. No, it's because you've taken your performance training so seriously. His agent had told me Raul was only able to act according to his own personal experiences, but he was getting better at portraying things he hadn't experienced. But as Cupid, I did want him to experience love. If he falls in love, his acting is bound to get even better. But unfortunately, there wasn't a single woman on set that seemed compatible with him. Sillywood actresses aren't interested in love any more than Raul is. And I got the sense that nobody on the crew felt comfortable approaching any of the movie's actors that way. But I can't introduce our members to him because Raul's agent is adamant that he just can't get married yet. There must be someone in this town that's a good match for him, but my Cupid instincts kicked in and I looked around as if I'd spot someone. But all I saw was Raul, right up in my face. What are you looking at? I mean, you now. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I think objectively, even though he's not the normal character that I would fall for, and maybe, again, it's just me now, but, like, objectively, he really is the fucking prettiest one. Like, Alan's pretty. Don't get me wrong. He is like sexy, and then there's, like, adorable. Like, I don't know what it is about this man. I don't know why. Stop looking at me with those goddamn eyes. Stop it. Stop blinking at me. Why? Stop it. I love him so much. I can't. I don't. I'm sorry. I know I just keep harping on it, but it's like one of those things that I just don't understand how this happened. It's not like, oh yeah, no, he's the asshole and that's my character. Like, no. I normally never. I enjoy the himbos sometimes in game. You're like, he's the himbo and he's cute and I like it and like whatever and we enjoy them. But like, I'm never like this, like, I fucking love him so much. You know that that's the way I feel about certain characters. That's my favorite. That's my best boy. I don't care. I love him. But I've never, I don't think, been in love with a fucking himbo before. It's a new thing for me, and it's new territory, and it's like a little scary, okay? You're like, I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know. But I love it. Anyway. Why'd you get so surprised? Because you're, like, right there. Not that I'd forgotten, but I was reminded again just how handsome he was. That's a Sillywood actor for you, I guess. I mean, seriously, looking at him, he's gorgeous. This precious, beautiful little thing. Ugh. Talking normally is fine, but I still wasn't used to getting so up close and personal. You really are honest, you know? I like that about you. You should be more careful about saying how you like someone, too. Yes, ma'am! Raul let out an over-exaggerated laugh. Wow, tongue-tied. Seeing his smile like that made me forget about everything else going on around us. Raul's most charming aspect was definitely that smile of his. I mean, seriously, yes. His honest nature seems to be a big part of the roles he plays. Maybe he got those roles specifically because people saw that in him. It made me even more motivated to make this movie a hit, so even more people could experience those charms of his. I like how she's like, he's so charming and he's got a beautiful smile and he's very handsome. And she's like, I gotta find someone for him. And it's like, but she's like, it's matter of fact. It's like logically, like he is absolutely, I'm not into you, but like he is absolutely gorgeous. He's very charming. He's got lots of good features. Let me say, like, she looked totally oblivious that deep down inside, she's like, no, he's handsome. Ah, manager. Oh, Raul is smiling and he's with that Cupid core advisor. And that's a nice smile. Raul has been smiling more recently, and his acting has definitely been improving. He never used to rehearse. Now he's showing up an hour early to practice. Just what I'd hoped for. I'm glad I brought her on. All that's left is to improve that last climactic scene. Climactic scene. Wow, I can't read. Climactic scene. Today was one of Raul's rare days off. I was headed to Lost York University. He'd invited me to a meeting that the Mythological Society was having. I decided to go, but not because I was especially interested in that society of his. In fact, I was hoping to meet at least one woman who was interested in mythology so I could start looking for Raul's perfect match. I mean, being Cupid and being a literal god and part of mythology, you are his perfect match, but okay. If there's someone like that there, I need to rein him in so he doesn't go for another casual fling. Then he can fall in love. As Raul's personal advisor, I was exempted from my normal office duties, so I really wanted to focus on him and help him out. I actually really kind of hope that the way, like, in all the other routes, we kind of were like falling for them as they were falling for us. You know what I mean? And it was like, wait, what's happening? I don't know what's going on. Like, except for Gil. Gil's already there long before us. But I kind of want Raul to be the one that gets there first. You know what I mean? That he's like, wait, I really enjoy spending time with, like, whatever. And then he's like, because I want to be like, yeah. And, or she's like, oh, I found this girl at the Mythological Society. And then, like, he's talking about something like, and this is how I feel. And she's like, that's love. Oh my God, you're in love. And he's like, but it's you. And, like, we're thinking that, oh my God, it's this other girl that's awesome for you. And he's like, no, but it's you. Like, you know what I mean? I just kind of feel like that'd be kind of fun in this route. Anyway. Raul's the obsessed parasite. His obsession with mythology is very real. I don't think he can change that part of him. Thank you for not trying to change him. Let him have his thing, okay? Everybody's got a thing. This is his thing. It might be a little crazy, but some of us will tolerate it because he's gorgeous and, you know, the money helps. Also, the being gorgeous. And having an obsession in a weird hobby that's not like, oh, God, you know? I mean, you might roll your eyes when he starts talking. You're like, oh, again. But I feel like I could probably handle that as opposed to, again, like a sports nut. Oh, fuck my life. Mythology? Okay, fine. Anyway. That's why it's more productive to try and find someone who can accept that part of him and like him for it. Right? Walking down the same path I'd used so many times as a student here, I crossed my fingers that there'd be a woman at this meeting. I hope there is too, again, like I said, because then it'd be like great. He spends some time with her and talks to her, like, mythology stuff, and then all of a sudden, but he's falling in love with us, and then he starts telling us, I'm feeling these things, and like whatever, and like, what is this? And then she's like, that's love! And we're like, that's love! Oh my God! Oh, he's in love with Mythological Society girl! And he's like, wait, what? And then it's like us, and we don't know he's talking about us, and he knows he's in love with us before we know he's in love with us, but then we're like, yeah, why do I feel weird about this? I don't like this. And then, like, I just want him to fall in love and realize he's in love with us before we figure that out. I don't know. I just think that'd be good for him. Anyway. Ah, hey, you came. As I arrived at the university, I spotted Raul leaning against a parked car, waving at me. Glad you can make it. He took off his sunglasses and flashed that bright smile of his. That's missing, but I'm assuming that's what I meant. I couldn't help but smile back. His gleam in his eyes. It's beautiful. I'm glad too. I hope we'll have fun today. Me too. Actually, we still have some time before the meeting starts. Want to eat lunch in the meantime? Raul held up a box lunch. I recognized that packaging. It was from a food truck that was always parked in the university courtyard. You bought it already? Yep. I always grab one before every meeting. Let's go eat in the courtyard. Raul started walking without waiting for a response. As I hurried after him, I was reminded that he definitely had some unique personality quirks. It's because he's a little dense. It's okay. He's bright, but only in the shiny beacon, beautiful smile, not in the intelligence. It's fine. It's fine. Our meetings cover all kinds of mythology. Greek, Japanese, even Norse. So different people tend to show up each time. I can't read. Today's topic is Greece, my personal favorite. I think you'll enjoy it too. I like how he's like, we have different topics, but I show up every time because I don't even give a shit. I'm just always here. Raul was in high spirits. He was scarfing down his food while I just nodded and ate at a normal pace. I'd almost forgotten about that food truck. It seemed like the taste had improved since last time I'd had it. So we're doing Greek mythology this time. That theme definitely hit close to home for me. As I ate, I reminded myself to be careful not to point out anything if they talked about mom or dad. At the same time, it was certainly a topic I knew a lot about. I was confident I'd be able to fit right in. I'd redone some research again recently, too. He's influencing us to research mythology more. Like, I mean, she's already kind of like, it's kind of funny, because she's like, I'm trying to help him, so I research, but it's like, you don't realize that you're like, doing something. You're like, yeah, okay, I'll research more, and then go to the thing with him, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, oh, shit, I'm enjoying this. Wait, this was a job, but I'm having fun. Like, Raul talked about it almost every day. I was curious to learn more about how myths were portrayed here, so I'd gone to the library. The more I read, the more I'd realized just how carefree Greek mythology was about sex. That makes no sense. No, not just Greek mythology. Every culture's myths had gods that left behind tons of offspring. Until you get to, like, Catholicism. It's not mythology, but I mean, religion's kind of mythology. All the gods, and then you get to certain religious things, and they're like, no, stop it. Maybe that's because mythology, oh god, no, stop. Mythology was like all about the sex, and then religion's like, we need to stop it. Nip it in the bud. It's kind of fucking weird. There were plenty of gods going around committing adultery and getting punished by their wives. Maybe that's where Raul learned his casual romance behavior. In a way, I felt a bit responsible for it myself. So anyway, everyone in the society is pretty nice. We lend each other books and other resources all the time. We all have our own pet theories, of course, like that. Okuninushi? Okuninushi? Okuninushi. I can't. That's a lot of syllables. Like that Okuninushi. Okay, anyway. And Zeus are the same god, or that Neptune was a woman, that's mine. Some of them are purists and hate the idea of crossover mythology, of course. But that's the beauty of the society. You see, Raul really seemed to enjoy this topic. Hold on, my eyelash itches. Okay. He made a big smile as he continued talking about the group. Speaking of which, Raul's terrible when it comes to love, but he does have lots of friends. Even on set, it seemed like he was always talking to someone new. Yes, he's just a very friendly puppy. He's just a social dog. His innocent friendliness must be what attracts people to him. We continued talking as we finished our lunches. We stood up to head to the lecture hall when we heard yelling in the distance. Look, that's Raul Aconite over there! No way, what's he doing here? Is he filming something here? Oh my gosh, I'm your biggest fan! Can I get your autograph? I guess they noticed me. Raul put his sunglasses back on and waved to the group. Don't tell me! Are you a student here? Oh, no, I'm just here for a little event. Raul's really friendly with his fans, too. He went around shaking hands and taking pictures with whoever asked. Is this good? Well, thank you so much! This is so great. I'm going to keep it forever as a family heirloom. Yeah, because your kids are really going to give a shit. I mean, never know they might, but like... it really actually depends. Because, like, you know, if your parents were like, oh, here's this picture of this time I met this star, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know? But, like, family... This is what you get in the will. Jesus Christ, Grandma, what the fuck? Thanks. Oh, look, please don't put any of that on social media. My agent will blow a gasket. You got it. Raul really doesn't mind giving his fans that little bit of special attention. He normally seems pretty aloof when it comes to strangers, so I was a little surprised. So, what's that event you mentioned? Actually, there's a meeting of the Mythological Society here today. Ever heard of it? Mythological? I had no idea there was something like that. No way, then I'll go too. I actually love mythology. I go to old ruins all the time. Wow, really? Nice, a girl that's into mythology. I perked up my ears and took a couple steps back to avoid interfering with the conversation. See, exactly, and he's gonna be like, yeah, no, that's doing it with her. And she's like, oh my god, wait, I'm jealous. I felt like this might actually be the day Raul found love. No, well, no, but... For some reason, Raul suddenly went quiet. It seemed like he was deep in thought. He didn't say anything. He just smiled with a slightly troubled look on his face. Is that right? But actually, you have to pre-register for each meeting, so it might be tough for you to get in. Really? But it's just us three, you know? Where's it being held? If it's mythology, is that Professor Shallot, right? You mean Professor Sherlock? Or is it supposed to be Sherlock? I would say Sherlock. Like Sherlock? Yeah, him! I even read that book he wrote. It was like totally eye-opening. She's not into mythology at all, he knows. Oh, you're talking about mythological realism as interpreted by Gucci Radini? Gucci Radini? I'm guessing that's the name. I don't know. Yeah, that's the one. Sorry, I read it forever ago, so the title slipped my mind. He's like, yeah, that's a made-up title. He's so good at this. I've never heard of it, but I'm really interested now. Me too. You don't mind if we tag along, do you? Please teach us all about mythology. Teach us all about your mythology. And sorry, but our meetings are a bit of a sacred place. I'd rather not bring along people who aren't actually interested in it. Huh? His tone of voice had turned a bit hostile. I'd never heard him sound like that, so I stared at him from a distance. Behind his sunglasses, I could sense a cold stare with a touch of disdain. But in the next instant, he flashed a dazzling smile, and his expression completely changed. Anyway, I'm really sorry, but I gotta go. Come on, let's get moving. Huh? Wait! Raul waved to his fans while grabbing my arm with his free hand. He hurried us away, leaving his fans standing there confused. As if they were faking it. Look, it's all in Latin, too! Phew. He didn't slow down until we'd reached the classroom, then shut the door behind us. We walked so fast that I had trouble keeping up. I could already feel my legs getting sore from the effort. You were walking really fast there. I was breathing heavily. Raul turned to me, surprise in his eyes. Oh, sorry. Was I too fast? Well, kinda. Raul was much taller than me, so his stride was naturally longer than mine. But that was the first time I'd noticed it. I realized he must have usually made an effort to match my pace. Just kind of sweet of him. He's like, your little short legs, I gotta walk slower to be like, oh, God, you're so considerate. You know? If you want to stop, just let me know. Oh, so nice. Consent and all. And you're so considerate that even if you're just like, well, I'm not actually into this woman, but she wanted to have sex with me, so I just felt like I had to oblige. I mean, look at you. Again, there's a line, and you're crossing it. Like, sweetie, back it up a little, baby. You're gonna hurt yourself. But, like, you know, he's such a considerate man. Understand. Understand. I maybe meant to say understood. I'll be more careful from now on. No, it's fine. But are you okay? Back there you were... Hey, Raul, did you see that paper Professor Johnny wrote? A man suddenly appeared and called out to Raul. Oh, yeah, I also read the relation of dreams to mythology, but I can't say I agree with it. Look at him, he's like his pink pants magic. I love him, he's so adorable. Same here, it's basically a fantasy. But what about that statue they found in Greece? Those weather marks could be ancient glyphs. They'd launched straight into their mythology talk. Apparently everyone here was just like Raul. I don't know what else I expected from a mythological society. As a god, I'd read a bunch of similar papers, but I wasn't familiar with any of the more recent ones. I really didn't want to interfere, so I decided to just keep my distance and observe. Raul seems pretty different from his usual self. I'd hoped he could use his hobby to get close to someone, but it was clear there was no chance for that. He'd cut that conversation short and fled the scene, and it was the first time I'd seen him look angry. Because they're faking it. He doesn't want someone who's not interested. Now, it's one thing if you were like, oh, you met someone and you're like, oh, I know nothing about mythology, but it's like, the way you talk about it's kind of like, but he's more like, no, you're just pretending. He's very, I think most people, like, if you're talking about your hobby and you were like, oh my God, mythology, and someone was like, I know nothing about mythology, but like, sure, okay. I mean, you're talking about it, cool. And they take an interest in your hobby, you'd be like, okay, cool, wow, that's nice of them. But I think with Raul, it's different. It's not like it's just a normal person. He's a celebrity. So, of course, he knows, like, he's not the brightest crayon, not the sharpest tool, and yet he's smart enough to realize that, like, wait, I'm a celebrity. They're not really into mythology. They're just saying that to get closer to me, and I don't appreciate that. Oh, sweetie, good for you. Because it's true. Good for you. Look, anybody else would do it and you're like, yeah, but he doesn't. I'm just so fucking proud of him. Because, again, he's a little stupid. I love him. I love the big dumb idiot. Love him so fucking much. But, so I just gotta be proud. Anyway. I guess those girls might have just been fans of his and didn't exactly have much interest in mythology. There you go. They didn't even know the professor's name or the name of the book he mentioned. So Raul probably decided they had an ulterior motive and pushed them away. I like that we're very smart, though. Instead of being like, why did you do that? She's like, I bet I know. Raul genuinely cares about mythology, so this group really means a lot to him. He probably felt like bringing random fans of his would ruin the mood. Yeah. Because they'd just be like, oh my god, yeah, whatever you said, that stuff. He wants someone he can actually have a decent conversation with, who's going to, like we do. No, I don't actually think that's Mars. Or, instead of just being like, yeah, no, everything you said. I agree with everything. He wants someone to be like, yeah, no, I know nothing about that. Or, in his case, to challenge him. You know what I mean? To be like, well, actually, interesting. I kind of see it this way. Oh, really? I didn't think of that. Maybe you'll agree with him, maybe you won't. But you know what I mean? He doesn't want someone that's just going to be like, anything you say. Right, yeah, no, the sky is orange. Actually, it is right now because the sun is setting. It's orange and blue. But anyway, So anyway. In which case, I'd better make sure I don't ruin the mood myself. Oh, Spacey. We always ruin the mood. Anyway. Even though I was an actual god, I realized that to these enthusiasts, I was still a newcomer. Still, I was Cupid, so I had to focus on finding him a good partner. I looked around and noticed something strange in one corner of the room. The real Spacey. Hey, hobbiting. What's that? I walked over and found a box-shaped device labeled Greek Mythology Gold Keychain. What the? I've never seen anything like this. It said that you could put in some coins, turn the handle, and some kind of prize would pop out. I'd seen stuff like this on TV, but I'd never run into the real thing. So naturally I was interested. Is it like a gumball machine or something? You know what I mean? Or like the sticker machines at the grocery store? I can turn it if I put in 3 50-cent coins. You have 50-cent coins? I may as well give it a try. I mean, I'm pretty sure we have 50-cent coins, but they're not common. Most people don't carry them around. I wondered what I might get. I sure don't hope I get a keychain with dad on it or something. I feel like that should have been I sure hope I don't get a key. It's weird. Anyway. I was thinking about how much I fought with my dad when someone reached out and suddenly tossed in 3 50-cent coins. Huh? I turned around and saw Raul standing there, I figured. Go ahead, give it a turn. Huh? Are you sure? Totally. I got a whole bag of 50-cent coins ready to go. At his urging, I turned the handle. A circular capsule popped out. Yeah, it's basically, okay, she's like, it's a box with a machine. I'm like, so it's yeah, a little sticker machine. Well, okay, the sticker machines are the flat little cardboard things that pop out. But this is yeah, capsule machine. Okay. I don't know, the way they described it, instead of being oh, it's like a capsule machine. Why is she describing it like someone who's never, we understand what it is. Oh, so that's how it works, huh? Cool. I grabbed the capsule and opened it up. It's you've never seen a capsule machine? Have you never been to the grocery store? Inside was a young winged man attached to a keychain. Is it supposed to be cute? Of course. Whoa, you got Cupid. Huh? This is Cupid? Way to go. That one's super rare, and you got it on a single pull. To be honest, I've never seen anyone pull Cupid before. Of course we did, because she's like, there's a story here, but I can't tell you yet. I've tried pulling for it so many times, but I've never got Cupid before. It's always Minerva or Venus with me. Raul, the sillywood actor, is into these kinds of toys? Hey! Some of us like blind boxes and fun things like this. Shut up. I was thinking about that gap in perception when he pulled out another pouch full of coins. Let me take a shot at it. I only get to do this during these meetings, so I always make sure to bring plenty with me. He empties the machine. He pulled out a few of his 50-cent coins and shoved them into the machine. His pouch, the prizes, it all seemed to go against his natural image. How much time do you spend with these machines? I couldn't say exactly, but I pulled about 5 Minervas. What? Another Minerva? Huh? This is Minerva? I like Minervia. It didn't look anything like my aunt. The image humans... I know they patched this, but they didn't patch it quite as well as they could have. Like, I can only imagine what it was like before. They keep missing words. Anyway, the image humans have of us gods was pretty far removed from reality. I don't need 6 of them. And maybe I can trade it to some other member today. I hope I can get a Cupid for myself soon. You should trade him, girl. Raul glanced at the keychain in my hand. Apparently it was pretty rare. Trade him. I looked at it closer. A young winged man wearing a loincloth. So this is their interpretation of Cupid. I'd seen so many paintings of it, but I still hadn't gotten used to the human idea of Cupid. I mean, I wasn't a man, and I definitely didn't go around shooting my arrows off in the nude. You want it? You sure? Wait, no, you were the one who rolled it. Raul started restlessly looking at my face in the keychain. Calling this Cupid doesn't sit right with me, because it looks nothing like me. I'm on the side thinking that Cupid is actually a girl? Huh? A girl? We've had this conversation, Raul, don't pretend. Yeah, so here you go. I put that keychain in Raul's hand and he looks really happy. Yay! Thanks! I'll attach this to my car. That way you can see it whenever you ride with me. Heh. So you're on the camp of those who think Cupid's a girl. I'm on the side that thinks Neptune is a woman, so same in that way. But since you think that much about it, you must really like Cupid. Your necklace has that arrow motif too. Something like that. This is where you're like, yeah, I mean, I work at Cupid Core. I'm kind of like you. So, it just kind of fit the theme, so it's fun. But if you're on the camp that says Cupid is a woman, what about that episode with Daphne? Would that be more of a friendship than marriage? I really don't want Raul to find out I'm actually Cupid. If he finds out, he'll start asking too many questions and there'll be lots of trouble for sure. You have to tell him later when you marry the man. You can't marry the man and not tell him. It would this is... As proof of that, he's talking really fast about his own interpretation of the stories about Cupid that aren't true. At the same time, I heard chairs shifting in the room with people starting to sit down. It looks like the Mythology Society is about to begin. Oh, we better sit down. I felt relieved to know that his Cupid lecture finally ended. But I still can't let my guard down yet. They're about to start their debate on the topic of Greek mythology. I hope they don't ask me to make any statements. I went to go sit in the corner to not stand out, but Raul dragged me over to sit next to him. That's not true! If that theory were to be accepted, then what about the structure of the palace in the island of Crete? That's not proof of anything! Look at Japan. Unlike the palace in Crete, they have the torii gates all around their castles. Never mind that. Shivalinga? Is that what it is? Anyway, the Shivalinga is considered a symbol of the phallus and the energy core. I'd say that... Coronos? Of Zeus? That... Coronos of Zeus? I don't know. Look, words with the... Anyway, of Zeus would be... That's for me. I think that... What? Iphigenia? Iphigenia. God damn it with the words and the names! I can't with this society! I'm leaving! Iphigenia? Yeah. As for me, I think that Iphigenia, who was offered a sacrifice to the goddess Artemis... They sure are getting heated up about it. Okay, thank God. I can't do any more voices. You can't have 30 people in this room. Although Greek mythology was the theme, they're all discussing about what the gods are. That's why everyone's utilizing all of their knowledge to justify their theories. Looking at everyone like this, I just sighed. There wasn't a single woman here. I know the one voice I gave was kind of a woman. I'm like, I know it's not. I just don't have that many voices left in me to do 30 different dudes in here. This mission is to get a woman who can talk mythology to stick with Raul is a failure. This mission to get a woman who can talk mythology to stick with Raul Oh, I get it. Okay. It's just the phrasing on this is weird. The mission to get a woman who can talk mythology to stick with Raul, to get a woman to stick with him who can speak. Yeah. It's just the way it flows. You're just like, I get what you're saying, but it just comes out weird. Anyway. It's a failure. Abort! Abort! As for Raul, he's joining in the heated discussion and is shouting out his statements too. There's a legend in the land of Japan that says allowing women on the ships causes stormy seas. This proof that Neptune or Poseidon is a woman. Maybe Neptune or Poseidon is just gay and doesn't like vagina. You don't know. Or he really, really, really likes the ladies, and so if a woman is on the ship and it causes stormy seas, they'll fall overboard and he can make mermaids. That's why the Little Mermaid had so many fucking sisters. Just saying. I just feel like if you said something like that, they'd be like, wait, and then they just start going, and you're like, I was just having fun there, but okay. Then what about the meaning of the name? The etymology of Posis Da, which means husband of the earth. That's the accepted theory. But in many mountains in Japan, women are barred from entry. The theory is that the mountain goddess is jealous of other women. Explains the ships. That'll conflict with the story of Amphitrite and Medusa. Having Neptune be a woman is too contrived and forced, Raul. But she says that even Cupid is a woman. Isn't that right? I'm suddenly asked for my opinion and I go wide-eyed. Do you support the theory that Neptune and Cupid are both women? Side with Raul. Say what you're really thinking. I mean, obviously, we say what we're really thinking, because siding with Raul is, like, the one thing that he's like, oh my god, everything you say! And he's like, plus, we also know the truth, so, hold on. Yes, say what you're really thinking. This just seems logical. Raul, I'm sorry, but I also think that Neptune is a man. But you say Cupid is a woman! Yeah, doesn't mean I think Neptune's a woman. Yes, I do think that Cupid is a woman. And your reasoning. Pushing up his glasses. First off, is it that important which sex they are? Oh? Hearing those words, Raul smiles happily. He's like, huh? I want to hear more about that. Are you sure? Yes, this is a place where we exchange ideas freely. Or argue with each other, but whatever. Raul holds my hand to reassure and encourage me. How cute. I'm a bit afraid of laying out my opinions in front of these serious enthusiasts, but I know I'm right and they're wrong. I mean, seriously. Oh, well, I'll only meet them for the day. I thought I was able to say anything, so I continued. In the first place, the gods will rarely descend to the human realm. If they do, they may get injured. Don't you agree that's too risky? In ancient times, they may have come more often, but that doesn't mean the legends at the time are correct. Humans interpret gods for their own benefit. Benefit? Yeah. The other day I was researching Lord Zeus. Some people of the royal family just wanted to say they had divine blood in them. Isn't that the same in all mythologies? Famous gods all sleep with humans to have offspring with them? I think myths reflect what humans want. Wait, hold on. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Auntie Minerva? Yeah. Could you go and ask Lord Jupiter, like, did he just fuck a lot of humans back in the day? Yeah. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. He's a man whore. He just fucks everything. He'd be really... Actually, okay, here's the thing. So there's all these myths, right? And I think this is fun. We're going through with, like, Raul being obsessed with myths and everything like that. And, like, I mean, I think... And she's like, I think humans just say shit that they, like, you know... So they can say they had, like, divine blood in them or whatever. I'm like, no, you don't think Jupiter was a man whore? Actually. And you're like, oh, because that's what the myths all say. Zeus was always sticking it wherever he wanted to, you know, whatever. But, I'm sorry. I am fully 100% in the camp that Peter is Jupiter. You can't convince me otherwise. And also, she might be Peter/Jupiter. Okay, like, that's still on the, like, it's still iffy about, but I'm still in the, like, I kind of hope that, but also, whatever. But, like, Peter and Jupiter, that's a secret character. I'm done. Like, just fight me. So going with that, right? I mean, we know Peter's a secret character, but it was the, oh my god, Peter is fucking Jupiter. Holy shit, whatever. Not fucking Jupiter. He is, you know what I meant. Anyway. But, like, when he was on the show, when he was doing the show and the girl's like, oh my god, Peter, he was like, ah, and he freaked the fuck out and ran. You're telling me that's the man that was, like, spreading it around town a couple hundred years ago? I'm gonna go with, you know what? Her theory here, like, I'm pretty sure Zeus wasn't fucking everything that moved. I'm not saying he might not have, like, dilly-dallied here and there, but I'm just saying, I don't think he's the man whore everybody here thinks he is because he was afraid of the ladies. He ran. He wasn't like, oh, hi, baby. You know what I mean? He was like, ah! And he bolted. He freaking ran. That man ran into the fucking woods. There were women throwing themselves at them, and he ran. So I'm just saying. I think that's funny. So it would be very funny if he was like, oh yeah, no, God, I fucked everyone. It's unbelievable. Because then I'd be like, why were you running from the women throwing themselves at you? I want him to be like, what? God, no. No. I mean, yeah, sure, I've fallen in love before. I mean, like, but like, he's not, I don't think he's going to be the man whore everybody thinks he is here. Which is funny. So I kind of like that they're throwing this theory in because I want, like, her theory when you get into Peter's route to be like, the truth and be like, see, when she was at the Mythological Society, that's funny, you know? Anyway. That's why Lord Jupiter's adultery so often. I'm sure the real Jupiter's surprised to hear all this. Yes, he also runs from women. Lord Jupiter's actually very strict, sincere, and regal. I just can't imagine him to be so casual with women. Again, goes back to the he ran from the ladies. I'd always wondered why he was seen that way. I wondered if it was the legends that were wrong. Well, it's from thousands of years ago, so he could have been like that in the past. Maybe. But Mom and Dad, Mars and Venus haven't really changed. Deep down, the gods have remained the same. That's why these stories should always be looked at with doubt. After saying that, I realized that I had negated the whole existence of the Mythology Society. Wonderful! But what came back was not an argument, but pure praise. That is a way of thinking in line with the gods! I never thought of things from that viewpoint.
That thought of it being risky so they don't descend is very cutting edge. So you're saying that the gods aren't perfect?
Yeah. Including me, none of us are perfect. Dad is stubborn. Mom's too much of a free spirit. Auntie is a human realm hobbyist. Aunt Minerva is the perfect partner, I mean, like, for Raul, because he is obsessed with mythology and she was obsessed with the human realm, and they would just... This is the... You would call Minerva up and introduce her to Raul. I know he's supposed to be our boyfriend, but, like, I'm just saying. My boyfriend, like... I'm a little more Minerva than I think I am her, so I'm just saying. In your mind, what sort of place is Celestia? It's probably a place with no entertainment. They would look to the human realm, but they don't take in human culture. Lady Minerva probably gathers human products, I think. Lady Minerva? You mean the goddess of wisdom and justice? I don't know which one's which anymore, I'm just throwing voices out there.
So the goddess that presides over knowledge would be well-versed with humans. Very interesting. So you mean to say that gods can also change?
Well, humans can't stay the same forever, right? If the gods live many times longer, it should be all the more true. Wonderful! The gods change too! That's a viewpoint that we had lacked! I know I'm like rich, I don't know who's 1, 2, and 3, and I'm mixing up the voices, but it's okay, it's alright. Just don't at me, okay? I can't keep up with who the fuck I am anymore. For some reason, there were people that started crying out of being emotionally touched. Did I say something that strange? I just smiled politely in response. A few hours later, the society conducted more heated discussions before it ended. Hours! We've been here hours! It's finally over. I was asked for lots of different opinions, but I managed to not expose myself. I didn't think they'd ask so much about Dad. I'm currently in an argument with Dad, so I was being curt about him, but they said that was a cutting-edge opinion, too. Raul looks so mad at us right now, doesn't he? He's like, fuck were you hiding all those opinions? Like, he's disappointed. Oh God! Our puppy is disappointed. Are you mad because we didn't take you for walksies? Raul was quiet near the middle of it. Maybe he was unhappy about his theory of Neptune being a woman being rejected. Or maybe he was unhappy that his theory of Neptune being a woman was rejected. That makes more sense. In any case, I should go home for today. I stood up to leave, and all the members gathered around me. Or he's mad because we're getting attention. That's his. You there, if you'd like, would you like to come to my home? I have a collection that I'd like your opinion on. Huh?
No, I want her to come to my home. I have my decor themed with Minerva, so I want her to take a look at it.
Everyone all came to me at once, bewildering me. Suddenly, Raul grabbed my arm. Or maybe that's it. Maybe there's a thing deep and he doesn't realize it. This is the budding of love right here, right? Is like, everyone's like, oh my God, I'm totally intrigued with her. And he's like, I don't like them being intrigued with you. It's like, I want you to get along with my nerd friends. And then you're getting along and you're like, I don't want my nerd friends liking you, though. You belong to me. What the fuck? And then they're like, come to my house. And he's like, she's coming to my house. Fucking back off. He doesn't realize that he's being territorial right now. He, like, feels it, but he doesn't know what it is. Like, I like it. I like it. Let's go. Huh? Hurry. He pulls at me hard, and I started walking, partially being forced. I heard sighs behind me as Raul takes me away. It hurt where he grabbed me by the wrist. Of course, Raul. On the way back, Raul was completely silent. He had his sunglasses on while he drove in silence. I couldn't say a word to him, it just stayed still. I get the feeling that he's angry, but I don't know why. Raul looked forward to the Mythology Symposium. He said it was a sacred place to him, so we enjoyed the debates in the beginning. We drove through some more streets, arriving at Raul's home. He grabbed me by the hand and takes me inside. Oh my God, is he gonna do things to me again? He slammed the door shut, then grabbed my shoulders and pressed me against the front door. And then, kiss. Oh, hi, yeah. Oh my God, he is totally turned on by our mythology rants. He's like, oh, I'm gonna take you. I kind of like it. This is hot. He pushed against me so hard it hurt, and I couldn't breathe. My vision blurred and my response was sluggish. In the next instant, my eyes opened wide in surprise. Raul was kissing me. He pressed down on both my arms and kisses me as if to steal my air away. I tried to open my mouth to call out to him, but I couldn't. His tongue and my tongue intermingle with each other. Why? What does this mean? I don't understand Raul at all. When he got the Cupid keychain, he was running about so innocently. When he figured out that his fans didn't really like mythologies, he looked angry. Could it be that I offended that mythology enthusiast part of him? Did I make him angry? I don't think he wants to hate fuck you now. I think he is just so turned on he's never felt this way. But I don't want to accept this kiss if he's just taking out his anger on me. I like the detail. I mean, you knew he had an earring because you could see it. But like, okay, but I like the fact that they actually have an earring back on his earring. It's not just like, okay, there's an earring. It's like, they have the detail of an earring back. I don't know why. That's like fascinating. It's like, huh. Yeah, I don't want to accept this kiss if he's just taking out his anger on me. If he's angry, I want him to tell me about it. No, I just taught him that he shouldn't be kissing casually. I'm not moaning for him, but... At that moment, he places his lips over my throat as if he was going to bite it. I felt a shiver go down my spine. I told him that he shouldn't do this unless it's someone he really likes. Yeah. He holds down my arm, but I shook him off. Raul, I told you that kisses should only be for special occasions. This is special. He says that with a sense of urgency, and the look in his eyes showed panic. This is special? Right now? How? No, wait. I wanted to say that, but he covered my lips again with his. My breath is completely taken away by him. I just love the fact that he's just like, mythology, and I'm gonna take you now. I mean, okay. Shit. This route is spicy, and I love it. I like the heat. I don't understand what Raul is thinking. I don't understand what Raul is thinking, making me slightly fearful. But because he's holding on my arms, I couldn't escape. We're gonna definitely go over. Oh, now he's huffing. Okay, I can't do all the moaning noises. You know I can't. It makes me feel weird. This is a different kind of kiss from last time. This isn't the going to the gym type of kiss. It was painful and heart-wrenching. A lonely kind of kiss, but I don't know why, but it is heating up my heart. I felt like he's desiring me much more than the previous time. What was painful now turned into pleasure. The kiss was sweet and suffocating. I couldn't say no, and my gaze started to desire him. I know that we're kind of in the middle, but because we did a slight transition, I'm gonna cock block you in the steamy scene because we're at time, and I just don't know if this is gonna be like quick, like he throws me down and takes me 3 lines, or it's gonna be 20 minutes, and I don't want to go too far over. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up here. I'm gonna cock block you and me because I can't record a second part right now. So anyway, I mean I could, but I'm also fucking starving. So I'm gonna eat, and then usually I don't like unhook all my stuff and then come back and hook my stuff up. So I will. You have to wait. I have to wait. It's okay. Just linger in the teasing right here. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.